Hello student, welcome back to the new video, and this is the fifth part in the biological classification. In the last chapter, we have discussed about fungi, in which one part was phycomycetes. Today we are discussing about ascomycetes. So in this, it is commonly known as sac fungi. It is multicellular as well as unicellular. In multicellular example is penicillium, and unicellular, that is yeast. It is saprophytic in nature. It is used as a composer. It is parasitic or caprophilous, that is growing on dung. So its characters, it is also known as sac fungi. It is multicellular, that are example of penicillium. It is unicellular, example is yeast. It behave as a saprophytic, as a decomposer, as a parasitic, or as a caprophilous. The caprophilous means that grows on dungs, that is cow dungs and any other dungs that are called as caprophilous. So these are the characters of ascomycetes. Its reproduction is asexual, through conidia, and also through sexual reproduction, that is forms sacs. So its reproduction is asexual, in which conidia that produces exogenous mycelium. So ascomycetes, it's reproduced asexually by the conidia that produces exogenously mycelium, and also sexually, and also its reproduction is sexually, in which in this ascospores produces endogenously. In asexual it is exogenously, while in sexually it is endogenously in sac-like asci. So we find that in asexual reproduction it was exogenously, while in sexual reproduction it is endogenously in sac-like asci. And its examples are aspergillus, claviceps, neurospores, neurospora, which is it is used neurospora, it is used extensively in biochemical and genetic work. So the reproduction in ascomycetes, it is asexual and sexual both. In asexual it was exogenously, while in sexual it is endogenously, and its examples are aspergillus, claviceps, neurospores. Neurospores are used extensively in biochemical and genetic work. So these were the characters and of ascomycetes. So second was ascomycetes, and now third part is basidomycetes. Third is basidomycetes. In this commonly are mushrooms, bracket fungi or puffballs. So basidomycetes includes commonly mushrooms, bracket fungi or puffballs. They grow in soils. They grow in soils, on logs and tree stumps. Where they grows in soils, on logs and tree stumps, and it's living in living plant and in living plant bodies as parasites, that is rust and smuts. So where we find this basidomycetes, these are commonly are called mushrooms, bracket fungi or puffballs. They grow where they are found. They grow in soils, on logs and the tree stumps, and in the living plant body as parasites, that is as rust and smuts. And we will discuss about its reproduction through the diagram. Basidomycetes. So its reproduction through the cycle. I am showing this through the cycle. Its reproduction is asexual spores are not found in this. So in basidomites, asexual spores are not found. In this vegetative vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. is common. So in this reproduction, asexual spores are not found, whereas vegetative reproduction is taken place by fragmentation, which is very common to it. We'll show this cycle. I'm preparing this, after that I will let you understand. These are the karyogames, and then a zygote is formed. These are karyogamy, in which basidio forms diploid nuclei. Basidia forms diploid nuclei. This is zygote. After that, it goes through meiosis. In which 4 haploid nuclei is formed. 4 haploid nuclei is formed in basidium. And thus there is cell division in this. After cell division, division, 4 basidospores are formed. 4 basidospores are formed. And this, after this, the mating take place. And this mating take place. So we find that plus mating and minus mating, that is positive mating take place. This is mycelia. And this, after this, there is plasmogamy. In which fusion of plus and minus. In this there is fusion of plus and minus mating type. Result in formation. Mating type result in formation of a dikaryotic mycelium. Formation of dikaryotic mycelium. Here we find that after mycelia both mating take place, and here plasmogamy, in which fusion of plus and minus, this fusion of plus and minus, fusion of this and this, plus and minus, mating type take place, in which it results in the formation of dikaryotic mycelium. That is here fusion take place. Here is where mating of both plus and minus take place, plasmogamy, in which both are fuses together to form a dikaryotic mycelium. There it happens mitosis, in which under the right environment, when there is a suitable condition for the breeding, that is under suitable condition basidocarp forms gills of the forms. In this, basidocarps are formed, and gills of the basidocarp contain cells called basidia. What happens after this? There is when the suitable condition is there, they goes under a fusion, and the contains the basidocarps are formed, and then gills of the basidocarp contains cells called basidia. And this are the basidia again. So here is the reproduction cycle of basidomites. Here we find that a basidia, in this it goes through karyogamy, in which the two nuclei in this two fuses to form a zygote. Basidia forms diploid nuclei. This basidia form a diploid nuclei, that is zygote is from 2n, and after that a meiosis take place, in which it forms the 4 haploid nuclei is formed in basidium, which divides and separate with each other. The 4 basidospores are formed, and this goes through mating, the plus and minus type mating, in which plasmogamy take place, in which fusion of plus and minus type results in the formation of dikaryotic mycelium, and this after the formation it goes through mitosis. Under suitable condition, basidocarps are formed, and the gills of the basidocarp contain cells called basidia. This contains basidia, and this again the cycle continues. So this is the reproductive cycles of basidiomites. Now its examples are agaricus, commonly called as mushrooms, and stillego, that are smut, and Puccinia, that is rust fungi, which we have earlier also heard about Puccinia, that is in wheat rust. So these are the common example of basidomites. So here is kind of basidomites. Now we will go through the 4th division, that is deuteromites. And these are called imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phases is known. What is this? These are called these are called imperfect perfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phases is known. So deuteromites, these are called imperfect fungi. So what are deuteromites? These are the imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phases is known. It reproduce only by the asexual spores known as conidia. It reproduce only by asexual spores known as conidia. So in deuteromites, these are the imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phases is known. It reproduces on the asexual spores known as conidia. Its character, some are saprophytic or parasitic. That is, deuteromites, some are parasitic or saprophytic. While large number of them are decomposers. While large of them are decomposers of litter and help in mineral cycling. So we know that deuteromites, they are imperfect fungi, reproduce only by the asexual spores known as conidia, and some are parasitic or saprophytic, while large of them are decomposers of litters and help in mineral cycling. Examples of this are Alternaria, Coletoricum, and Trichoderma. These are some common examples of deuteromites. Now the fungi section is ended. Now we will move to the new kingdom, that is planting. And that we will discuss in the next class, the plant kingdom planting. Dear students, now we are ending this section here. If you find any doubts, you just go through it and concern, and if you find, I will try my best to make you understand. Thank you very much.